Kansas college campuses are alive with activity as the fall semester is underway, with enrollment numbers ticking up. It's not just a traditional degree drawing all of those students, it's also professional certifications designed to provide skills to meet industry needs. Sean Logging on what it's meaning.
Activity abounds as the fall semester gets settled into a rhythm. At WSU Tech, some of what's driving that is more people earning professional certifications.
We're seeing increases across the board this fall, and I think it's just showing that employers really are valuing those skills, and students are seeing the value in earning the certificates that go along with them.
These certifications are degree specific, like aviation, healthcare, and IT, and can come as part of a degree program or non-credit. Dr. Jennifer Seymour at WSU Tech says these certifications are tailored to meet industry demands, including reskilling or upskilling workforce.
We don't exist unless we have employers who hire our students, and they're not hiring our students unless they're happy with the product we're producing. So we rely on their expertise. We rely on them to tell us what it is they're needing and what's changing, because nothing stays static.
This fall semester, WSU Tech is expanding a partnership with Skillstorm, where the college's 2-year IT curriculum will incorporate Skillstorm certification training for IT industry jobs.
It's on demand, so students can choose to jump in whenever they're ready.
Across Kansas campuses, these certification or industry-specific programs have become more prevalent. It's one of the reasons that community colleges this year have cited for an increase in enrollment.
Our not-for-credit demand is way up. We do tons of specialized training for different businesses in the region, in the state, locally. And so I think our mission's kind of changed since 2016.
In Wichita, Sean Logging, 12 News.
This trend is being seen in national data. The National Student Clearinghouse, which tracks undergrad degree completion, showed a more than 6% increase in certifications earned in the 2022-23 school year, which followed increases from previous school years.